And I'm Brandon McCoy, and this is cells in and around us.
Alright, so what is a cell? A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism.
Now what are the two types of cells? First, we have the eukaryotic cell. This is a complex cell, okay? It contains a nucleus, and it's usually unicellular or multicellular. It also contains membrane-bound organelles. The second type of cell is the prokaryotic cell. This is a simple cell. It contains no nucleus and no membrane-bound organelles, though it does contain a nucleoid, which is where its DNA and hereditary information is stored. Most of the prokaryotic cells are bacteria.
Okay, so you're probably asking yourself, what are organelles? Organelles are any of a number of organized or specialized structures within a living cell.
Now, what are some of the types of organelles? First, we have the plasma membrane. This is a selective barrier around the cell. This is composed of phospholipids, which are arranged within a bilayer structure.
You also have a cell wall. Like in its name, wall, this is a wall or a barrier. This gives the cell its shape and also protects the cell.
Next, we have the ribosomes. These are responsible for protein synthesis. They are found within the cytoplasm of a cell. They are composed of a large unit and a smaller subunit which come together during the translation process of protein synthesis.
Now you have the Golgi apparatus. So this modifies proteins, lipids, and other macromolecules. Products are sent in vesicles. Now vesicles, they do something called endocytosis and exocytosis. Endocytosis is where it brings things into the cell. Exocytosis is where it brings things out of the cell.
Next, we have the mitochondria. These are double membrane structures that produce ATP for the cell. Now they are composed of the matrix, which is within the fold, and the cristae, which is without the folds. The Krebs cycle, which is one of the processes of ATP production, it happens within the matrix, while oxidative phosphorylation, another process, happens within the cristae.
Okay, so the endoplasmic reticulum. Alright, so we're going with the smooth. Smooth has lipid synthesis, detoxification, carbohydrate metabolism, and no ribosomes, hence it's smooth. Its counterpart is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough because it has ribosomes. This is protein synthesis. Lysosomes, they're pretty cool. They do digestion in the cell. They break down proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, and carbohydrates.
Next, we have the nucleus. This is the control center of the cell. It stores the DNA and hereditary information. It's responsible for replication, transcription, and post-transcriptional modification of RNA. It also contains the nucleolus, which is where ribosomes are synthesized. They are excreted through the nuclear pores of the nucleus.
Okay, so the vacuole. This holds water. Okay, so this is like storage. In plant cells, it's pretty big. And in animal cells, it's a lot smaller.
Next, we have the peroxisome. This produces hydrogen peroxide in the cell, but it also converts peroxide into water.
Chloroplasts. So this is where like photosynthesis takes place, energy production, pigments, and there are outer parts, and there's the stroma. Also the thylakoid membrane system. Do you have anything to add for this?
Well, if you see here, stroma are like the little thin pancakes, while the thylakoid membrane system connects them.
Thank you. I'm pretty forgetful.
Next, we have the cytoskeleton. There are three different types of filaments and structures that make up the cytoskeleton. First, we have the microtubules. These help the cell structure, along with the microfilaments and the intermediate filaments. Now, these working together keep the cell structured, and they also help the cilia and flagella.
Right, fluid mosaic model. If I forget anything, I got you. Or you got me. Okay, so this model. There's like the phospholipid bilayer, proteins, and cholesterol proteins. They're integral proteins that are within the bilayer. They can cross the membrane. There are peripheral proteins. On the exterior of the membrane. They can attach to integral proteins. Sorry.
Now, if you look here, we have the integral proteins, which are the ones that are crossing the membrane. And then you have the peripheral proteins, which are on the exterior of the membrane. They cannot cross it. If you look here, we also have the cholesterol and the glycoproteins.
Thank you. Got that.
Next, we have the tour of a plant cell.
I love this. Like the parts of the cell. It's been pretty cool.
Both animals and plants are made up of cells. Their cells have many features in common, but there are a few significant differences. Let's look inside a leaf to take a closer look at a plant cell. First, we encounter a protective cell wall outside the plasma membrane. The cell wall is made from strong cellulose fibrils. Once inside the plant cell, we see the large central vacuole, which regulates the composition of the cytoplasm, creates the internal pressure that is characteristic of plant cells, and stores various compounds produced by the cell. Plants make their own food by photosynthesis in chloroplasts. Light passes through the two membranes of the chloroplast and strikes these green discs where light energy is converted to chemical energy. The sugar molecules produced by photosynthesis can be made into other molecules or broken down for energy. All plant cells have mitochondria, just like animal cells do. Sugars produced by photosynthesis are broken down and converted to ATP in mitochondria. Most organelles, like mitochondria, are found in both plant cells and animal cells. So the next time you pass by a plant, remember that we have more in common than meets the eye.